Okay, to add preload to these inverted forks, you got to take the cap off and unscrew it, take the fork out of the motorcycle, and then turn it upside down to drain the oil out. And so what we're going to do is this part of the cap, which has the rebound adjustment, stops right here at this nut. And this nut holds the spring and compression. There's a nut, there's a washer, and then this rubber or this plastic spring retainer that keeps it centered in the shock. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can put in a couple of washers right here, and stack the washers depending on how much preload you want. Or what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding a spacer that I got from Bart Moto, and there's the spacer. It's 18 inches outside diameter, 12 millimeter, did I say inches? 18 millimeter outside, 12 inside, and it's 12 in height. And it's going to go right in here. So I'm going to break these two pieces apart, and then I'll leave just the nut, and then I'll come back. Okay, this one's pretty stubborn. You probably can't see it too well, but the let me see if I can bring it in closer. So the rebound adjustment screw was in here, and you can see they put a lot of Loctite in here. So I had to use some acetone and some heat to get it to break loose. And then I'll probably have to chase these threads. So I put double nuts in here to keep the center shaft from rotating. And then that's so I can back this nut off and get it completely off so I can add the spacer back here. Okay, so this is what it looks like with the spring out. Here's the spring, and then the piece of plastic that aligns it. So this is going to go in first. Okay, we're going to make sure this is out all the way. And then what we're going to have to do is compress this. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use a spring compressor, and so I'll get that all set up and show you what that looks like. Okay, so here's the spring compressor for doing valves on an automobile engine, but you see it works really good for getting the spring compressed. It's got the little hooks, and then so it's got the factory washer in there, and then the spacer, and now I'm just gonna put the nut on, and I'll have to push this down a little bit to get the shaft to poke out enough to get the nut on. So I've got the shaft held steady, and then you just take and thread this down till it bottoms out. And now we're going to put on the actual cap, which looks like this. Okay, and we're going to thread it all the way down. It'll bottom out somewhere around here, and then we'll back this nut back up to lock it in place. Okay, so this is the plastic piece. This is the factory washer right there. This is the new spacer, the lock nut, and the rebound adjuster. So how many milliliters of oil I took out. So now I'm going to use the 20 weight, fill it up to the same amount, and then I'm going to use a plunger to put it in the shock.